you spent time with Derek in Tampa, but not a ton of time. So then what was it throughout this process that brief familiarity matched up with what you wanted that really sold you on him as your head coach?
Well, I guess I try whether it's someone I've never met before, which wasn't the case here, a coach from. I try to reach out to people that have worked with them to find out. Tell me why this person, and you get a lot of calls from people. With recommendations, you should talk to this person, talk to that person, and I do that in every instance. In this case, I did have a small relationship with Derek, but more so, the number of people that throughout his career that he's worked with that I've had some type of relationship in the business with as well. You get a chance to talk more with them, hear how he operates, his philosophies, his style of play, his teams. The more and more you talk to people, you get more comfortable, and you be able to paint a good, or get to know the person that way as best you can through through my conversations with a lot of other people. So, like I said, not a complete stranger, but more comfortable and have a very clear picture of how he wants to, how he operates. His relationships with everyone, the environment he tries to have, the style of play his teams play, and then speaking with Derek specifically on how he coaches his team, on his plan for working with whatever aspect of play and in our players. Just kind of with each conversation, with the more I dug, the more I became intrigued and felt that ultimately getting to the decision that I was headed down a pretty good path.
It's tough to make a player that doesn't want it a good player. You have some guys in this room that clearly want it, and they have the talent that matches it. What is it, though, in this new era where, Derek just told me, it's not necessarily that guy that's hard pushing buttons, over-aggressive, doesn't give a guy respect, that's going to succeed as much in the NHL anymore. He says he tries to balance that relationship. Is it a new era in the league, and how much do you believe that he is obviously the right guy to guide a young room?
Well, obviously I hired him, and so I believe he's the right guy to lead this team. It's interesting talking about it's a new era. These players, these kids are different today. I just think that's kind of the natural progression, I guess, of society. I think kids are different than when I was a kid. Things have changed. Each generation changes and evolves, and to be successful, as whether it be in this case, whether it's in coaching or management, I think you have to evolve too. And I find there's so much more openness that everybody knows your business now, and everybody shares their business, which is kind of a different era than I'm from, quite frankly. So
I don't think you're on Instagram, right?
It's
Sharing your
more,
day-to-day?
not really, no. That it's more important that you, I guess everybody has more information, more access to, and everything's way more open. So you know what, things that were acceptable in the past aren't acceptable anymore, and that's not a bad thing. That's just the reality, and we all have to adapt to it to be successful. So has the player changed today from what, what? They're better athletes, they're better conditioned, they're better informed. So all those are good things, and you have to adapt with them. And in some cases, a lot of their expectations are sooner. And part of that is there's 32 teams in the league. There's more players coming into the league. They're coming into the league at an earlier age, and there's more people staying in the league at a later age, able to extend their careers. So, coaches, again, they have to adapt, and we all have to adapt if we're going to survive and be successful.
How excited are you on a day like this where you get to bring in a guy like this and make a selection and bring in a new head coach?
Well, it's a very important decision. It was a very interesting process. You learn a lot, but ultimately I feel really good about the decision. I really look forward to working with Derek, it's another step in hopefully our team getting back to improving along the way to becoming a playoff team and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's great, and I think our organization, I think our fan base, the media, are going to watch and get to know Derek and really appreciate the way he operates. I keep using that term, but ultimately, you know what? It's mine and my management team's responsibility to get better, to improve the team, to bring in talent with whichever way we can. And we're excited about the core of players that we have and the core of prospects that we have. We want to continue to add to that. So we've all got a lot of responsibility to get it to do our jobs well, and I believe we'll get there. And again, we hopefully sooner than later, but we're just going to stick with it and keep doing it. And Derek's an important part of that. So, another thing along the way, we've got the draft coming up and free agency coming up, and hopefully we can do some things here and make some good decisions that inch us forward again.
Thanks for the time.
Okay, no problem.